We're back with shooting champ Gabby Franco. So tell us, Gabby, what projects you've been working on now?
What is it?
What projects have you been working on?
Well, quite a few. I'm now offering seminars.
I literally thought you just said F me. I was like, what did I do? Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just being childish. Go ahead.
So yeah, I'm just, going all over Texas and some part of the country doing seminars. It's called the Mental Dynamics of Target Shooting.
Okay.
And the reason I do that, when we go to the range and people go and, you're lined up with probably 10 more people or 15 more people and shooting, and they tell you, okay, go on your knees and shoot and do all that stuff. And you're learning and you're hyping all that stuff. And when you go home, naturally, like 60% of all that is just gone. Yep. Our brain only retains a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So what I do in my seminars is complement the on-the-range training with psychological techniques that I learned as an Olympic shooter. My coaches had knowledge or education on sports psychology, and I also worked with sports psychologists.
Uh-huh.
And believe it or not, the seminars also touch on the personal life in the way I tell people, if you want to be a good shooter, you have to change the way you think, not only on the range, but definitely off the range.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. I when I take courses, I generally walk away. The physical component's always a good thing, but I always realize more and more that it's the mental side of things that are going to be exceedingly more important. And so from that perspective. From that perspective, I can definitely see where you're coming from. So what's going on with Remington?
Well, right now, we're still working together with my baby. It's more local matches. They have been very supportive, and I really appreciate that. Having a new member of the family, which is my everything right now, have been, so precious. And they have been supporting me for my seminars, which is great, until I get back on track and keep competing.
So what do you like now? So what's the one thing that you enjoy now that you're no longer pregnant and you can get back to shooting the way you were before? What was the one thing that you were looking forward to the most when you were like free and clear to go shoot as you will?
Well, I really like shooting itself, not necessarily just for the go to the range. I like the fact of getting better every time. I'm very competitive, but I'm also a businesswoman. So it's that balance between, okay, I like to compete and all that stuff, but at the same time, I like business. I have a family too. I need to take care of. So that's something that people sometimes don't think. Like, I don't just sleep out of shooting, Like that. Well, yeah, every time every bullet I put down range doesn't necessarily mean that I put food on the table in my house. So I go out there, I work, I educate. Shooting to me, it's like that freedom to not only keep myself up there so I can educate and teach even better, become a better instructor, and also have fun. Yeah.
So how hard is it to balance like just your personal time shooting and then the time that you spend training? Because of course, like you mentioned, you got to stay on top of your game. And then is the training do you shoot the same way or train the same way to teach as you do to compete? Does that make any sense?
Well, it all depends. When in USPSA, for instance, USPSA, we have a course of fire, right? So when I go to the range and what I want to is develop certain skills that are going to help me when I go and shoot my whole course of fire at the match. Gotcha. For instance, so when I practice on my transitions, which is very important. So I'm not trying to do the typical double tap that you hear, and then go to the other target, and go to the other target, So it sounds fast, but at the end of the day, it's slow. So what I try to do is do a set of, let's say, 6 rounds that sounds as I'm shooting at the same target. I mean, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
And reducing the time of my transitions. I also work on other skills that are challenging for me, which are the swingers, for instance. You know.
Yeah, no, it's funny you mentioned, you know, the cadence, because the range I shoot at, he used to be a competition shooter. And so I'll have like 3 still targets out there, and I'm shooting. I'm like, da-da, 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 and then like I'm all proud of myself. I'm like, man, that was kind of fast. And then all of a sudden you just hear from nowhere, what was that? Are you double tapping? And he was like, we don't double tap on this range. And so it's a shooting skill that most people don't realize. Like, you know, it looks fast, but it's actually faster to keep that, to have each individual shot sound exactly the same as the last. So it's like you said, instead of that is that. And so that is it's just funny hearing you say that when I just got yelled at for it the other day while I was on the range shooting, feeling myself until he pointed out that I didn't do anything.
You think about it. For instance, let's say you draw already your first shot, I don't know, let's say you're super duper fast, 1 second and 15, 1:15 or something like that, I don't know. But let's say you go, your second shot is 0.19 or 0.20. But then your transition to your third shot, it may be 0.30 or 0.35. And then you go to 0.23 or something like that. So, but that sounds fast between those two shots. But if you go from 0.23, transition 0.23, 0.23, you see, you're reducing that time in between. Overall, it's going to be faster, even though it may not sound as fast.
Yep, absolutely. That's why on camera I go da 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 da, and then when I'm actually really shooting, I try to do it that way because it looks faster on camera, and that's all I care about, right? Just how it looks on camera. No, but no.
When I practice, I just look for those skills that I need to practice more to get better. I mean, like I tell people, you have pushed yourself when man, you're having a hard time to get it great. Yeah. So instead of, I did good today, that's good. No, you have to, the thing that you don't like, that's the one I want to practice the most.
Absolutely.
And that's what I tell my students.
Well, thank you very much, Gabby. It's always a pleasure having you on the show. Look forward to having you back on again. And
sure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, anytime. But you definitely have a good one.
Thank you, too.
All right. So that's going to be it for today on Seeing Live. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern on NRATV. I'm Colion the War, and I'm out.